dreams we have, the love we share. This is Spectrum Light.
of the great alliance between our two countries. We went to Argentina, to Colombia, to Mexico, that paradoxically comes from the back. Because most of the state in our region they know very well, believe me, that Israel is not their enemy. I think we had about 80 or 90 countries with whom we had diplomatic relations. Now the number is 160, and there are very few countries left. By the way, what are we doing with Greenland? Greenland, 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 Greenland.
There we go. This track is basically done. That's like an outro. But my body is telling me to stop. It's being like, bro, please have some mercy. It's 37 degrees Celsius. Hey Google, what is 37 degrees Celsius in Fahrenheit? 100 degrees. It is warm. And dancing doesn't help. So my body is in fight mode. I don't know if I'm running from anything. I don't think running is gonna help. Pepe! She's eating dead things. My battery is at 73. I'm on 80. It's 28 minutes past. I'm on 84 there as well. I'm gonna get set up, get all my things. I am burning right now. Like it's not comfortable being inside my body. I think Pepe took a dump on stream. I'm sorry about that. I'm just happy that I noticed before I stepped in it. I felt like that would have been a little bit of a bummer. Maybe you friends would have liked it. Laugh at my expense a bit. No one is. You got friends, you got fam who loves you and care for you. Isn't enough? Isn't that enough? Even if it isn't, what you have now. I kind of agree with that sentiment, Joy Vive. I'm not trying to discourage any of us, right? It's the same thing with Christian as well. I'm not trying to discourage you from finding love. I believe finding love is something that awaits all of us, right? I do believe you're going to have to make some sacrifices. And the question that I like to pose to my friends in these cases is, are you in the position to make those sacrifices right now? And I can hear you saying yes, but I doubt it. I doubt it though. Because it's one of those things where you only realize the sacrifice once you're in it, right? Once you're in it, it becomes a full-time job essentially, bro. So take your time. That's all we have, bro. All we have is time. Yossi, I'm sweating. Eva is also hot. You're a sweet girl. There we go. Hello. Oh! My things are falling over. I'm sorry. Stream topic. Today we're going to talk about sacrifice. Right? What a powerful word. The word sacrifice. I feel a lot of us probably have the association of sacrifice being something occult, something dark, something evil. But I believe sacrifice just technically means you giving something of yourself, right? Quite literally, giving something, right? That is what sacrifice means. And today, essentially, the thing we're giving to one another is our time and our presence and the effort that it took to get here right now. I do, however, believe that sacrifice, at least sometimes, is something you benefit from, right? That you might have to sacrifice some time and effort, but in doing so, you will get to make friends, you will get to spend time with people you love, you will get to have moments like these in the right now. And I believe that those sacrifices at the end of the day make it worth. I am super far behind comments. I'm gonna try and see if I can get some of it. The last one I saw is Sam by Shan. I see Cyclone. Let me just say hi to you, friends, instead of reading comments. I see Kristen, Brother Dan, and Sam. There was Zana, Duck Dad, Lisa is here as well. Thank you, Lisa. I know that I have a lot of love to give, and it feels like I have no place to put it in this piece of my life. It's just hard to put it simply. Bro, if you have a lot of love to give right now, and you don't know where to put it inside of yourself. I hear Dan going like, that's not how it works, Mel. I don't mean it like that, bro. I don't mean it like that. Oh, I mean it like, if you want to put all of that effort into something, build on your life, right? That's the way that I've been trying to see it, at least, right? Where I feel like, even though I do crave intimacy, I realize that if I was more intimate right now, I would not be capable of doing the things I'm doing. For instance, if I was in a relationship from the start of this streaming path that we're on right now, I don't know that I would be able to do it the way I'm doing it right now. I feel now, because I have established myself as an adult, as a man, essentially, and made this my thing, the relationships that will come into my lives will be an extension thereof. In other words, more simply termed, because of what I'm doing, the things I will allow into my lives will be adjacent to my doing, right? That if you want to meet the right person, you're going to have to live the right life. And if you live that right life, you will meet that right person. But you cannot rush that. You cannot rush that. You cannot accelerate your own growth, because then you weren't growing, right? There's this fractal of like being on a game quest, right? Maybe in Act 3 of this game that you're playing, you get to be with this person you want to be with, right? But if you skip Act 1, 2, and 1 and 2, for example, you do not have the XP to be with the person you want to be with, right? Then the relationship is not gonna work. It's gonna fall apart because you didn't do the work that is expected of you right now. The sacrifice you have to make, to get to that point where you can be in that relationship one day. And it is a sacrifice being alone sometimes. It is a sacrifice dedicating yourself to something, to building something that you can be proud of, that can support you and your loved ones. It is. I get it. I get it. Hey, Gateway. I get it. right? It's not going to be easy. I never said that, but it is possible. And we have time, right? If you only end up meeting the person you're going to be with in your 40s, is it going to be any less meaningful being with that person? Right? That's the mindset that I feel like we're trying to adapt slowly but surely, is in realizing that love is true no matter what. Even if you have to be alone right now, love is still true because you get to feel anything at all. You get to love you right now. And as soon as we learn how to do that, everything else becomes a lot easier, bro. A lot easier. It's like a wholeness, right? It's like a completeness. Once you reach that level of self-love, you feel complete. There's no lack, not even the intimacy, right? Even though I like intimacy and I feel like a part of me craves it from a physical, fleshy standpoint, it's not something that I'm actively seeking, right? I'm not going out there and going to bars looking for someone to be intimate with because I don't need that, because I have enough of it. All right, you can give yourself intimacy. Take a hot bath, take a hot shower, do some yoga, eat some mushrooms. There's a lot of ways to give yourself that intimate self-care. You don't have to get it from another person. In fact, if you try to get it from another person, more often than not, it's going to be imbalanced, right? Because there's only so much another person can give you before they're exhausted as well. And then that exhaustion leads to resentment, and that resentment leads to fighting, and that fighting leads to a sense of animosity, and that animosity leads to a sense of separation, and that separation leads to the eventual ending of that relationship. And then the cycle repeats because we keep seeking something we don't think we have. Right? You are already complete, both masculine and feminine. Masculine observer, feminine embodiment. You are already that which you're seeking, Brother Bear. I take it last night didn't go as expected. I kinda lapsed of judgment that I date you for what it's worth. Me too, bro. You're so hot. Oh, you're very good looking. There's nothing wrong with you. Absolutely nothing. But again, I think it's an expectation thing, maybe, if anything. Like the expectation gets us, bros, every time. Lawazana, sending you blessings, but regardless of the path we are on, we show up with love in the moment. This is the way. It didn't go as expected, Duck. I kind of brace myself for it at this point, because that's usually where things land. Yeah. I've noticed the same thing with Christian, weirdly enough, Dan. Every single time, right? I've known him for 5 years, half a decade now. Every, without fail, right? I feel like maybe that's the thing that I get like angry about as well. It doesn't change, right? The thing it is you're seeking, and then the eventual disappointment, that doesn't change because there's something here that is expecting it to be one way or another, and then it happens, and it's a cycle. And if that cycle isn't broken, you find yourself in the same cycles. I can't wait till the time change. I can only play drums when my kiddo is on the way back to school. These tracks would be so much fun to play with. I'm happy that you like the tracks today, Dr. Blessings to you. I just hit the shuffle button on my playlist. The first track was like a, what do you call it? Preview? Yeah, so it was only like 2 minutes. Wasn't enough to actually vibe to. I understand what you mean, Dan. You know, when the time is right, all the stars will be aligned and you will find that person. I believe this as well, without a shadow of a doubt, right? Like, I want to say that as well, Dan. I believe both for you and for Christian, the right person is out there. Absolutely, undoubtedly. But I don't believe you'll find them by looking. I don't think so, right? You're going to have to live your life right. And in doing so, life will give you the people that you need to be with, right? And it's a matter of time. It's a matter of sacrifice. Are you willing to sacrifice? Are you willing to put in the effort? Take it one day at a time. And if no, then see loop, right? If no, then see loops. It will go as expected. Love is true. I like today's music of choice. Even Joy Vive was vibing to the music. Usually, like, my mind is super critical of any music I play because I'm like, is Joy Vive gonna like my music or not? Oh, my friends, I am here and I love you very much as we love you, dear Shell. Thank you for joining us as well. Wiggly Wiggy, Wiggle Wiggle Wednesday. Thank you for joining us, Joe Schmo. I have officially dubbed Wednesday Dance Day. It's no longer Wednesday in my mind. It goes Monday. So I should say this technically in Afrikaans. Our Tuesday we call it Dinsdag, not Dinsdag. De with the dia, Dinsdag. So it's Maandag, Dinsdag, Donderdag, Donderdag, Vrijdag. Right? The triple D's in the middle of the week. There's a joke there, but you can tell it yourself. You can tell it yourself. Ryan, this is Rosie. I saw Jupiter and Venus again. I'm happy that you're paying attention, dear Rosie. I believe that Jupiter brings abundance. That's how I kind of articulate to myself when I look at Jupiter. I'm like, yeah, Jupiter is bringing abundance to me. Planning to fail is a plan for failure. Hold your chinny chin up high, Dan. You are a catch. Yeah, agreed. Hi, Rosie. Thank you, Joy Vive. We are saying, bro, I'm going to the gym. I was thinking about your wrist today, Brother Bear. Sending you healing vibes, man. I was like wondering, is your wrist as wrecked as it is because of all of the boxing you've been doing? Right? I don't know if hitting a bag is good for those little bones, them getting compressed. Technically, you can increase your bone density, but I don't know if it's. I can do this. No, I can. It's just a little hard. I thought I could press that little heart, but alas, no. Thank you, Gary Lee, for manifesting some abundance for me. I appreciate it, Brother Bear. Sending you blessings. It's nice having you here. Me and Gary Lee have been so stoked about the future and about the things that we're building, and just seeing his name, all of that stoked energy comes back to me. Sending you blessings, bro. Let me see. Yossi, I'm so far behind. High and by. Oh, I think Cable is gone again. I don't plan to fail, dog. I just am never surprised when I'm not on the same page as the other person. Because I've never been before. I feel like, again, expectation, right? Like, I have noticed that, and I'm serious about this. When I have the best relationships with people is when I expect absolutely nothing, right? Expect nothing, stand to gain everything. Expect everything, stand to experience nothing, right? It's a polarity thing, right? And people can feel that. People can feel expectation from you as well, right? It makes them uneasy and it pushes us away because it's one of those things where we rarely feel like we can meet others' expectations sometimes. And the best way to kind of, allow a good relationship is not to. This is just me, Dan, but I'm super slow to let anyone into my bubble. Maybe she is too, I'd rather decline an expectation than let someone down on it. And so that could be why. Oh my goodness, I like how me and Jovan are like, council of wisdoms in the exact same fractal right now. That's perfect. She reacted so carefully because she just doesn't have an answer. Oh man, for some reason, if I get new comments, it skips back up. Doesn't have an answer. She didn't decline hanging out again, so Joy's right, not an L. I agree. Is your style or your hygiene putting anybody off? I think that is a pretty hygienic dude, right? At least from what I've inferred. I don't think hygiene is a problem. I just think it's like right now, I don't think we are in a world where normal relationships are a thing anymore, Dan. That's also something I've been noticing, right? Like, sure, they can work, but statistically, they don't, right? If you get married, more than 50% chance that it's not going to work. More than 50. Those aren't good odds. And it's really not good odds. So I feel like all of us actively know that when we start hanging out with people. And if that's what they want, that changes the parameters and the expectations, right? Makes it a little bit difficult. Joe and Joy should be the ones we listen to. I have a pebness, and I have been out of the dating game for 19 years. Yeah, technically me too for like 5 years. I also don't know what I'm talking about. Well, I know relationships, right? I'm pretty good at building relationships, and non-expectation seems to be one of the working formulas for relationships in my life, right? And it's a slippery slope because you don't want to not expect anything of another person, right? But I guess it's like realistic expectations as well, and realizing that sometimes it might be appropriate for you to expect something in one moment and not in the next, right? And there's a certain level of emotional maturity that you have to kind of cultivate to know, which fractal you're supposed to be showing up for. Also, it's shitty to keep someone around just hoping they'll give in and sleep with you at some point. So if you actually want her friendship, don't do that, please. Also, good advice. No, Sam, I'm pretty well put together and clean up nicely. I just have ever, never had the confidence to meet people organically. So partners have been a few and far between. Yeah, I'm the opposite, Dan. I'm really good at meeting people organically. And for me too, right? I've been in 2 relationships. I've had 2 girlfriends in my life, right? I don't think it's a matter of not being able to do it. It's just a matter of what are you willing to sacrifice again, right? And there's a lot to sacrifice when you get into a relationship like that. I've never dated though, Doug. What do I know? I think you know a lot. The fact that me and you both went into the expectations fractal, stripping me out actually. A slow approach to a good thing is helpful. Not everything happens all at once. Often the journey heals many treasures. If you hurry to the finish line, you will likely breeze past many blessings. I don't know if me and Joe Schmo was like on that fractal of the games as well, but I think me and him were making the same point at the same time. My battery's at 73. Yes, Joe's is at 73 as well. Nice. Dan, I was the least confident when I was jobless a few times, even when I was married already. It took a long time for me to realize my job isn't me, and I still struggle with it. There's a great deal many people who completely associate their own self-value and worth with their gerbs. It is a shame. I'm looking at Pippi being an absolutely cutie pie. Such a cutie thing. Do you have pets? You do have a cat, right? Yeah, give your love to your cats right now, dude. That's been my life partner almost as of late. It's the closest thing to a living entity that I can give my lovin's to sometimes. Then I'm just going to pitch in with one bit of wisdom and then I'll be quiet. Though with Xana, feel free to share as much as you need to. She says, so I know the show Friends was kind of corny, but there was one scene that I'll never forget. Ross and Rachel were on the verge of a relationship, but Rachel was hesitant because she said, when it ends, we can't be friends anymore. Ross said, why does it have to end? And Rachel said, have you ever been in a relationship that didn't? And Ross said, well, no, but it only has to happen once. Yeah, that's good advice as well, right? The fear of not being able to be friends. Again, right? I feel like that fractal needs to be taken into consideration with the mindset of the expectations. Because I don't think it's the relationship that ends, it's the expectations that fall apart, right? Technically. Because when we get into a traditional monogamous relationship with one another, a certain set of expectations arcs over us. And then when those expectations are not met, that's when the apparent relationship ends, right? But unfortunately, for the masculine fractal, that arc feels like being trapped. It takes away a sense of freedom from you. And it creates like a whole psychological, thing. And that's why I believe the friendship ends up, not working out afterwards. Because you live where you live, you'd be beating the creeps off with a stick if you were in my neck of the woods. I mean, it went as good as it could. under the circumstances. We had a nice time together, lots of smiles and laughs. That sounds good, bro. That sounds perfect, actually. I guess that's true. I was strict into kinda date before. That was not fun. Yeah, I've tried it as well. When I was 20. No? Yeah. When I was 20, I had Tinder for a while and I matched with people and I would go and meet them and I would pay for dinner, even though I was already broke. And I would hate it. It felt like I was putting on a show kind of vibe, right? Being like, let's get rubber. And I like to have conversations, but I also was like, breaking my back trying to carry it. And love and relationship mean different things and involves different feelings at different ages and stages in life. It's also very good advice, Lisa. I think I might have missed your previous comment, or no, that's just it. She told me she enjoys my company and asked to hang out again soon. This was after rejecting my offer for a date. So I'll just move forward in that way. This is the Web at the Bear. Good morning to you, Josh Mo. Blessings to you, at the Bear. No, 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 no. I dated, and I was Shell says, I dated and I was a sexual disappointment to many because I require a lot of dating and then total commitment first. Like you'd have to want to marry me. Yeah. That's a big sacrifice, Shell. And different strokes with different folks kind of vibe, right? I get it. But I do crave the kind of intimacy in my life, and I have no place to put any of my sexual energy. It fucks with my perspective. Yeah. Learn how to masturbate, though. Learn how to masturbate well, I'd say as well. Stop using porn, is one of my bits of advice that I'll give you. That'll help. I know that might be counterintuitive, but that has helped me, right? I'm like almost a year now. Is it a year? Yeah. I stopped during Sober October last year before going through to Christian's place. No pornography, right? Absolutely none. Like I do not go there. Not from a place of, oh, I'm so holy and no, but from the fractal that it generates in my mind, right? It's like a momentum thing. It's like you're stoking a certain type of fire, and that fire burns, right? It doesn't burn good. It burns like an STD. I don't know what the point I'm trying to make. What I'm trying to make is learn how to love yourself, right? Without the external stimulation necessary. The yogis believe as well. Maybe learn how to do Kundalini yoga. Then maybe that's another thing you can consider. Seriously, do some Kundalini yoga. That might also actually help. Day 1000 something melt steps into people. No, absolutely not. Then I would also like to add healing your trauma before you get into a relationship is going to give you an exponentially better chance at a good outcome. My wife and I found out the hard way. It's very, very difficult to be a good husband, boyfriend, while trying to heal yourself, deeply throwing a kid in the mix and forget about it. Yeah. That's what I'm focusing on today, Melt. I'm learning how to make a Flask app in Python for the speech to text feature in my app. I shut up for yoga and I'll go to the gym later. It's all I can do. And you're doing it, Brother Bear. I'm proud of you. That's all you need to do, one day at a time, right? And taking care of yourself like that is going to create this baseline of confidence that you cannot buy, you cannot, find. It has to be something you earn through sacrifice. You have to make that sacrifice. And you're making it, Brother Bear. Now it's just a matter of time. Keep showing up. You're doing great, Dan. You should be proud of yourself. Yeah, and I'm proud of you too, right? So you got like double proud, right? And maybe Joy Vive is proud of you, triple proud. Maybe Shan is proud of you too. That's quadruple proud. Shan, Jovan is proud of you. That's penta proud, bro. So much proud, feel it. Oh gosh, that's true, Duck. You've got a lot going on right now, Dan. This is the way. But you're pushing through and be proud of yourself for it. We're proud of you, dude. Yeah, there we go. More proud. Oh, I hear and agree with everyone's perspective, but Duck, you've hit the nail on the head. The lack of intimacy and sexual attention in my adulthood has become trauma over the years. Experiences like last night with Lisa triggered that trauma. That's why I'm a little sad today. And it's okay to be sad as well, right? That sadness isn't something to be ashamed of, it's not something to hide. Like our beautiful Shell said, if you're sad, be sad. If you're angry, be angry. But don't be what you're not, all right? We don't want you to be what you're not. Mr. Shell has sympathy for Dan. He remembers waiting to get with someone, but all the hard work years before me. Mr. Shell says every time it was too easy for him, the woman was cray cray. Yeah. The thing that I realized about myself as well, I don't like sex, and this is probably a little bit too personal. I don't like sex for me, right? Sex isn't for me, technically. I think that's also something maybe that you should articulate to yourself in your mind, Dan, is asking yourself, do you want intimacy for yourself? Or do you want intimacy because you want to give that level of energy to someone else? Right? And that can also be a good step in the right direction. And then realizing again that in that way, you can give yourself that intimacy. You can. It's a little bit awkward, but it's possible. No. It sucks. It hurts. But I'm afraid, but I'm alive. So I'll keep living for myself. There we go. Yeah, Jovan, she is slowly getting back to a normal diet. Thanks for asking. Huh? Is Jane doing well? Jane, his practitioner. I'm happy to hear that. Yeah, I've experienced women like that, Shell. Mr. Shell says he effed up his life several times because he got the intimacy before knowing the woman enough and once got stabbed for real. The Japanese symbol for sex writes flowery combat. Did you know that? Flowery combat. That's what they call sex. I kind of like that. It's interesting how we got here, right? I didn't anticipate sacrifice turning into a sexual conversation. I'm tripping out about the fact that Rosie might be here. I hope Brother Ryan, turned the stream off because I feel like she might just be a little bit too young. Like this is going to be a part of her life eventually, but I'm mentally tripping out about it. The sacrifices we make, right? I guess. Yikes, Shell. Yeah, I don't want that. Yeah, no, I don't want to have blades in my body. Thank you. That's why octopus males rip their pieces off and flee from the women. They literally rip a bit of themselves off and it's like, here, have my pepness with my sperm. I'm gonna eat in this direction. There is no person faster on the trigger with emojis than Joy Vive. By the way, my neurologist appointment went well. That's fantastic. He said I didn't have epilepsy. It's just an abnormal brain waves. So he said he's gonna send a letter to the Ministry of Transport. Then it's in their hands. I'm so happy to hear that, Zano. Thank you for letting us know the good news as well. Thanks for listening, y'all. We love you, Dan. I feel like I have more self-awareness about the trauma. I feel like I have more self-awareness about the trauma I have with this fractal. I know what I need to keep doing. Today is just a moment of reflection on that trauma. One step at a time. Step one done. Love is true. I'm happy though. We're proud of you as well, Zano. That's great, Zano. Epilepsy is no small thing. I was in a class when Ignis had an epileptic attack. He was sitting directly next to me. I've never felt so powerless. It messed me up a little bit. I gained new perspective that day. You will inevitably find your reflection if you aren't seeking a specific model. This means that having a healthy view of yourself is key in connecting with someone in a similar vibration. This is true. Always with the wisdom, Brother Joshua. Shan saying, no one will love you more than you can love yourself, Dan. And by loving yourself, that energy will attract your heart's desire. I'm proud of you for doing all the work that you're doing, friend. It's again the bandwidth thing, right? Like that's the way that I like to articulate to people when we talk about self-love. And again, it's a sacrifice thing, right? Like if you seek intimacy in the world, right? And you get it. Let's say you find someone who wants to hook up with you. How long is that going to be? Right? Maybe you're going to go out and have dinner, and then you're going to go back to your place or her place or their place. And then you're going to, bump uglies or whatever. And then what? Right? Maybe you'll cuddle afterwards. That amount of information can be quantified, technically speaking, right? Maybe there's like +5 for having a hand on your face. Maybe there's +10 for getting kissed. Maybe there's +15 for a warm embrace. Maybe there's +20 for sexual murder, right? But eventually, that is going to end, and that person is going to go and have to work their job or build their creative project or make their art. And that state of being, where they make their art or work their job or sit on the toilet and go to the bathroom, isn't indicative of intimacy towards you, right? So there will always be a level of dissonance between the amount of intimacy we think we need and the amount of intimacy another person can give us. And then realize that the only person who can complete that loop of intimacy is that which has the most access to yourself, which is yourself, right? From a bandwidth perspective. Somebody might, again, quantifiably say they love you, and that might feel a certain way. But you can say, I love you to yourself infinitely in a loop over and over again, right? There is a certain level of direct connection. And when you reach that level of completeness, right, when you completely access the full bandwidth of self-love, you gain more access to love another as well. And people can pick up on that. They know. Dan, you live in New York City, bro. I'm sure you'll find a cutie, a cuddle party, and go get that touch. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm just using words I hear the kids say. Yeah, like instantly I'm like concerned, like that. I'm like, bro, what words do you know? I don't know. First of all, give your license back soon. Love is true. Congratulations. And your brain report. Thank you again. Gary Lee for the abundance, Brother Bear. Sounds like good stuff. Thank you for sharing the excitement. Shell, the only thing I can attribute now, 3 days of not smoking weed during the day without trying, is you sending me that video and our conversation. A little healing goes a long way. I'm feeling really good not smoking. You friends could probably notice my speeches. I can feel that too. I guess I could slow down intentionally, but I'll have to try. My mind is still running, but I can. Not a cactus can live with minimal water, but not no water. This is true. Zana road trip. Love is true. Your hair is growing back fast. Melt trims are essential because you can see your new growth instead of dead ends just splitting and breaking off. It's true. I kind of like it now. I'll be honest, Joy Vive. I'm like there now again. I feel like I was just going through like a moment of like some insecurity, right? Worried, worried for nothing, right? Does it matter if I go bald? No, it doesn't. My life isn't going to be less beautiful. Trees aren't going to be less beautiful, right? I won't be able to feel less love from my loved ones. So it's just a mental thing, ego thing. And I feel weirdly enough, the sobriety is helping for the ego as well. It's like the ego is coming back stronger in some ways, but that strength is treating me well kind of vibe, right? So it's like a dichotomy of, yes, melt your ego, but also the recast after you've melted your ego should be strong, should be a good polymer or a good, alloy or whatever. Peace out. Thank you. Yeah. Sorry, Brother Ryan. He's not here right now, but unfortunately, it wasn't me, right? Can I be forgiven? I'm just tripping out about Rosie being like, oh my goodness, These sexual deviants. What's wrong with them? Love you, brother Ryan. I'm so sorry, dude. I'm feeling bad. Like I'm seriously feeling bad. Ryan, I didn't know about sex when I was a 6, 7 year old. Did I? Is that a lie? I did know about it, but it was again enigma, right? It was like just like confusion. But I have been better off if I knew more. Who knows? Please let this be a normal field trip with Zano. No way. Joe, that awesome girl down the street who's 10 and still plays with my daughter, who is A10 and still plays with my daughter, comes running down the street at 7 a.m. this morning when she sees, Doc, I found something you would think is awesome. It was a perfectly clean eastern gray squirrel, top half of a tail. She was all sad because she thought that the squirrel died. I said, look at that one little drop of blood. It's separated from the squirrel. That means that it got away totally safe and will heal. It was fascinating, and technically I got to get a squirrel. Got to pet a squirrel. Part of a squirrel at least. Shan, I'm still smoking at night though, because I'm afraid if I go cold turkey after 10 years, my chemistry will go bonkers. It won't, bro. You don't need it, right? Technically, I've been drinking caffeine since I was 6. Seriously. Because in South Africa, we don't really think of coffee as caffeine. We think of coffee as a drink, right? And children are allowed to drink things, kind of vibe. So I used to make myself as a 5, was it 5? Between 5 and 6, 500 ml bottles. Those Energate bottles, I would put 2 spoons of coffee in that, 4 spoons of sugar, and then I would put milk in, and then I would pour hot water in it. Sometimes the hot water would hit the sides of the bottle too quickly, and it would like crinkle it up, and then I would shake that, and I would go and lay on a couch, slurping coffee as a 5, 6-year-old. So I've been consuming coffee for 2 decades, right? Which means that for 2 decades, my brain has been having its adenosine receptors plugged by caffeine molecules, inevitably growing more adenosine receptors to kind of compensate for the amount of plugged adenosine receptors that there are. And then going cold turkey without caffeine, I'm not dying. Maybe more adenosine is bonding with my brain, but your body adjusts, right? If anything, we are adaptable beings and you will cope. You just have to actually believe in yourself and push through it sometimes as well, even if it's a little bit difficult. It's the same thing with fasting, right? People think they'll die if they fast. Oh, I've been eating my whole life. I've been eating every day for like my entire existence. If I don't eat for one day, I'll die. No, you won't. No, you won't, actually. I was like reading an article. Wasn't it? I was more like skimming an article through the comments of a Reddit post, right? That's the more honest one. And then in this, it was like about fasting. They've done like a new study about how a 36-hour fast literally changes things in your body, that changes the way that your body sees your own fat storages. And that change literally makes you live longer. And then I see in the comments people going, oh, I could never fast for 36 hours. I'm like, bruh, yes. Yes, you can. Yeah, you can, I promise you. Part of me wants to, lock people in a box just so that they can, not eat for 36 hours. So they can show themselves how powerful they are. The amount of, oh, I cannot. I think the problem there is moisture, Joy. He's got a good wash routine going on, but the way we sleep can add to the breakage if we don't take the proper precautions. I still don't have a hair bonnet. Maybe one day I'll get myself one. Wow, 3 days in a row, Doug. Good for you. Love is true. So much love. Doug, I feel like I have responsibility to let people know where the end of the rope is. That's that there is a rope. That the rope is you. Hey, Simon, blessings to you, bro. It's nice having you here. Shelly, the only way you can know what the end is by experiencing it. and making it through. I've lived this way for 38 years. I just assume it was life. And my use tapered by itself, Duck, as I did the work. By the way, if anyone wants to know what the work looks like, just ask anytime. I think all of us know the work, Shell. Every single one of us are doing the work. Today's whole stream topic is about the work, right? Realizing that the work that we're doing is sacrifice. It's you sacrificing your own time. It's you sacrificing your own ego to your awareness, technically, right? Really taking a look, like paying close attention to your own bullshit, and then slowly but surely, taking things apart and then putting them back again. Sherlock Holmes of nature. I see Mariah joining us as well, sending your love and dear friend. I'm gonna be close to your chat soon. Hey, even just not smoking during the day is an accomplishment for sure. I agree, actually, right? Maybe that could be the way you do it, Doc Dad, is you make it like an end of day treat for yourself instead of a all day, every day kind of thing. Did you get your ID sorted? Nope, I didn't, Simon. I did think about it today. I think maybe I'll drive through tomorrow again because Fridays might be too busy at home affairs. So maybe I'll do it tomorrow. I don't really wanna do that. I kind of don't like, 1, driving cars, 2, being in town, 3, going to home affairs, 4, standing in lines, right? There's a bunch of things that I don't like, but I guess I have to I have to make that sacrifice so that I can have a piece of document that says, this is me. That's some bullshit, yo. Like I feel like I'm playing, like that Rick and Morty episode where it's like, here's Rick doesn't even have a social security number. I feel like part of me wants to be that, part of me wants to be that dude. I heard a gunshot for a second. I love animals and nature as much as you. I'm so jelly that you work towards doing the sanctuary stuff. I wish you lived closer so we could save some critters together. I'm pretty sure there should be places close to you as well, Duck Dad. Maybe find out, dude. It can be something you can do on the side. Like, it's not Joe's whole thing. She just does it sometimes. I'm not abstinent, by the way. I use both weed and alcohol daily, but no cocaine. Alcohol as well, Shell? You know what? I'm gonna rest my judgments. I'm very anti-alcohol. It's not good for you. Not even a little bit. Right? This is proven. Weed, yes. It can be good for you. Little bit can be good for you. Right? It has a bunch of markers that it brings down. It boosts some other markers as well. Alcohol is not good for you at all. It literally dissolves your insides, right? And it permeates everything. Alcohol can go literally straight into your mitochondria. It doesn't care, right? It's like the equivalent of an invasive species of molecules you're putting into your body. Don't do that, please. Please don't drink alcohol. You could drink anything else. Drink coffee, drink tea. Alcohol is not good for you. But what did I know, right? Who am I to say what you should be doing or not? Good news is that I don't drink or alcohol. I'm California sober. There we go. No booger sugar for Shell. Shell growing medium for healing arrived yesterday. There we go. I'm a pro if you want to do a call. It's my second monotub. Oh, I know what that means, but I'm totally run my procedure by you when it comes from the jars to the tubs. Luckily, my brewing past trained me for this stuff. Yeah, just be clean, no? If you're clean, it's technically easy, right? It's less involved than growing weed, for example. Mr. Shell wants to know, Dad, are you cleaning the plumbing before you're going on a date? I'm not even gonna, let's just pretend I didn't just read that comment. Oh, Matron, I want to hang out with Mr. Shell so bad. If not, why not? Melt you with the wisdom, deeply spiritual truths. I'm just a sounding board for the universe, dude. There's energy flowing through me and it's flowing into you. If it resonates, it means that that truth is already inside of you. I know nothing after all. Melton Swampy, so a Florida-based electric speedboat company with fast charging. Operation Get Melt to America Electric Speedboat Boogaloo. I mean, you can put solar panels on that shiznit as well. We don't even have to go fast though. I have time. We should put a Starlink on it though, right? If I can't have internet connection, I'm not getting on that boat, bro. You can't drag me onto that boat. 4G to stream. I like how Simon is already on the same fractal as me. Solar fast charging. Simon, probably best not to draw attention to your people smuggling on a live stream. Probably not. Still here for the duration, but I'm gonna lurk while I figure out this Python sheet out. Love to you, Dan. Love, love. Love, 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 love. Love, 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 love. I'm gonna put this closer actually. Just putting more lovins. Loving. Lovins in Dan's ears while he's lurking. Lurkiest of love. Yeah. See you at card time. If you're reading this, I love you. We love you too. Dear Joe. Love you, Japan. Love you too. So much lovins. Are we the only species here that has constant mental chatter? I don't think so. I don't know, to be completely honest, because I have noticed instead, I should say, see our animals dream, right? So if they dream, surely there is some sort of articulation or frame of reference or story based fractal happening in their little brains. So I do think they must have some sort of story. For instance, last night when I went to bed, Pippi didn't come into my room. Right, and there's nobody else here right now. Sometimes she goes and sleeps with someone else, but usually she sleeps next to me. Like I have like a little mini bed for her, and like I'm standing at my door, going, "Peppy, come move there." She actually stood up. Come here, Peppy, and she doesn't come. So I close my door, right? And the only reason she did that is because in her little mind, there was a story of her not wanting to be where I thought she was supposed to be or where I thought she was gonna be. That's that right there is some high quality stoner thoughts, Mark. Not bug. It's like riding a bicycle. If you know, you know. I'm glad you have the knowledge and you can spread the knowledge. Exactly. Stoner thoughts. Sorry for making the stream not safe for little ones. That's my fault. It's okay, done. It was what we needed to talk about. I just was tripping out because Rosie was already here, right? Is that a gobbledygoo? Hey everyone who's participating in Sobertober. Me forgot to wean off coffee, so I'm having 1 cup a day. Yeah, I'm no coffee as well, no caffeine, no marijuanas. Fortunately, I don't drink alcohol, but I'm also not taking any psychedelics. The caffeine is the big one for me too, Gob. I have like caffeine pills right now. It's 150 milligrams a pop, and they work. They're so nice. And like when I take my multivitamins and not take the caffeine, a part of me goes. So I get it. I get it. I'm happy to be sober right now. In therapy yesterday. Thank you, Rabbit. Love to you, Simon. Regardless of how we classify the question, is there an answer? I believe no. The answer is no, right? I've also watched monkeys try to articulate, try to point, to people being like, hey, oh, pss, 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 give me that thing, So surely there's a story in their mind of like, I want that thing. Give me that thing. And they keep going like, hey, oh, hey, pss, pss. Hey, can we do that? Give me the thing, right? So surely there's something happening in their minds of like chatter. So I don't think so. Can we define mental chatter in other species if we don't experience it ourselves? Dolphins have fashion trends and octopi live together. Is that true? I don't think so, Sam. I don't think octopi live together. They actually are like solitary beings. There are behaviors we have, but they do come with any degree of sentience. Is that required for basic thought? The simple question seems to touch on a lot of areas. So I'm happy that you bring up dolphins, though. Maybe we can like switch those. Octopuses have fashion trends because they do kind of like carry shells with them and they hide in shells. And dolphins live together, right? Maybe that's the way it was supposed to be articulated. Dolphins do drugs, right? They'll like pass around pufferfish that has like a neurotoxin in it. They communicate. They have different dialects, different accents. They communicate through sonar. So instead of like using words to try and describe something, they will literally project at you the shape of the thing they're talking about, right? So if I want to tell you about dog, I'm not going to be like puppy with 4 legs and 2 ears, like she's waving her tail as I say, puppy, it's a puppy, it's a pepperkis a wolters. There's a little Shelby as well. So I would just, go, and then in your mind, you see the 4 legs and the little body and the little tail waggy and the little ears, right? Apparently, that's how dolphins talk with one another. And I do believe they will have mental chatter as well, actually. Sorry, I live in Alabama and I can actually extrapolate with people. Hey, Google, define extrapolate. Extrapolate, extend the application of, to continue, or similar method of application. Nope. To extend the application of an unknown situation by assuming that existing trends will continue or similar method will be applicable. Ah, okay. So it's like inference, right? It's like gaining more information or assuming more information, extrapolate. Neurons. No, it's a fascinating question. It's just gonna take me some time to play around with it. This is true, Sam. Like I feel like I've maybe jumped the gun a little bit and tried to create too much clarity, but I think it's an emphatical no. We as human beings aren't the only ones with mental chatter. Because again, right? Like watch this tail, and then I go, Peppy Woofter. You see? Like there is like a certain level of sentience happening in her mind where her mental chatter is like in one kind of direction. Like maybe she's thinking about, food or whatever. And then as soon as I, say her name, she associates that with kindness and lovingness, right? And then it completely changes her mental chatter. It's like, come on, do that thing when you give me lovingness. All right. Do. This is why we don't let you make the rules melt. You would lock people in boxes and starve them. Not as a punishment, but for being bad just cause. No, I won't. No, I won't do that. I won't do that. I would lock them in boxes to let them self-discover, right? I feel like there can be so much gain on a personal sacrifice kind of level, right? If you just don't anything, right? I'll give you water, but nothing else, right? Just be with yourself for a little bit. Have you tried that? No. No, in fact, none of us have. None of us have ever actually just been with ourselves. Just think about that, right? I feel like that's a damn shame, right? So it won't be like a malicious thing. It would be like a trying to help kind of thing. And I'm this is like, of course, me joking. I won't actually do that, right? Because again, it would cause suffering, and it would be me suffering technically, and that person won't get out of that experience being like, "Oh, thank you, Melt. I'm so enlightened." They'll hate my guts. So I won't actually do that. It's a joke that I'm making, right? To like point us in our own mental, little fractals towards an understanding. It's conscious evolution. Joy Vive, always assuming the worst in me. It's okay, Joy Vive. I love you anyway. I'll lock you in a box last. Shell, I'm also like a daily beer drinker, bro. Sweet Home Alabama is the jam, though. Weed and beer, Lamar. Sam, I need to know more about the dolphins and their fashion trends. I don't think dolphins have fashion trends. I do believe octopuses do. Dolphins do live in communities. They even rape. Yeah, that's a little bit of a harsh one, but dolphins are pretty sexually deviant as well. There's that Sublime song that's kind of fucked up, but also true for me. On some days, a 40 ounce to freedom is the only chance I have to feel good, even though I feel bad. You don't feel good, you just numb yourself, right? You drop your inhibitions, and that lack of inhibition allows you a sense of freedom, right? To freedom is the only chance I have to feel good. But then as soon as you sober up again, you're dealing with the same old bullshit, right? There is no escaping the sacrifice you'll be making. Unfortunately. Bama, sticky, stinky, and judgy. But yeah, sure. You sure do know how to jammer down in here. My calories are for steak and pork chops right now. I ain't got no extra ones for alcohol these days. Proud of you, Joy Vive. I also actually have some pork chops thawing right now. So I'm also team calories for pork chops. Oh, pork chops, can I interest you in a tasty Guinness, Joy? We have so many devils on our shoulders right now, me and you, Joy, it seems. Let's lock ourselves in boxes. I'm very late to answer, Shell, but yes, hygiene is important to me. And occasionally, I like to wear a teeny bit of cologne. Nothing crazy though, just a little. Me too. I like smelling good. I really like it when people tell me, right? Christian is good on that. Like every single time he hugs me and I wear cologne, he's like, "You smell nice." And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, dude. Yeah, yeah, I do smell nice. Thank you." It always makes me feel good. Simon, I've spilled my guts. I don't want to do it again. Sorry, man. Love is true. Hey, everyone. Love again to you, Goo. I'm taking vitamin D for the first time ever, as well as omega 3, 6, and 9. Maybe you could admit, I don't know if you're taking them together, but you can technically not take omega 6 because you probably already get more than enough of it in your diet if you eat anything with like oils in it. I'm not used to taking supplements every day. It is a weird thing, right? But we do not get to eat as many things in our normal modern diet than we do, and we used to at least. So taking supplements can help. It shouldn't be the only thing you do though. No worries, I'm late to stream. You're here, Simon. And now it's recorded, so you can always go back. I did sober for double-digit years. Not quite ready to do that again. You don't have to do it for double-digit years. I've just been doing it since starting these streams every October, right? This is now the 3rd October that I'm doing sober October for. And for me, it's a novelty thing, Nancy. It's not like oh, I'm so good, right? Look at me not doing drugs, all of you heathens, no, that's not what it's about. I like drugs, right? I like smoking weed. I like eating mushrooms. I do. But I like it more when I know what the other side of it is, right? I realized during Sober October why I smoke weed kind of vibe, right? Where I'm like, oh, how about this? I feel like I'm going insane. Like my mind is running at 1,000,000,000 miles an hour. And I smoke a joint to just calm down for a little bit. So it's for me it's contrast, novelty. I allow myself the other side of the experience so that I can appreciate my experience a little bit more. It's like me cheating, right? Like you get more out of your substances when you don't do them for a little bit. Skibby bop dee boop dee boop. Omega 3 is very important oil for the body. This is true. I also take an omega 3 oil supplement. I think we call that prison. Raya lol. Aren't we with ourselves on retreat? One rusk a day in box. I supplement vitamin D and C, Gabber. I put them in my lunch shake. And magnesium too. Magnesium is also important. Magnesium, getting enough sodium, like those are like, essential for the way your cells fire, the electrical impulses. I'm thinking about niacin as well. Vitamin B3, also very important. Zinc is also very important. If you don't make sure you get enough zinc in your diet. It's like one of those like longevity markers. If you lack zinc, you die faster, kind of vibe. I'm taking an extra walk right now because it's so nice out, but Lord, leg day destroyed me. Straight up pain right now. Proud of you, Brother Bear, for staying active. Dolphins are fancy dressers, very stylish. Am I missing something? Right? Like I've seen a bunch of dolphins. I've never seen dolphins dressed in anything. Maybe they decorate themselves in seaweed or something. I just haven't seen that. Hey Google. Hey Google. Do dolphins decorate themselves? I didn't understand. Liar. Self-decoration in bottlenose dolphins. Free-ranging bottlenose dolphins in Florida have a potential form of self-decorating where grass is worn and sprayed across their dorsal fins in their suite of object handling behaviors. So, yes, in fact, they do decorate themselves. But there's again not a lot, right? I feel like this is again maybe like novel behavior. It's not exactly something they do. Like it's not a big thing. Maybe one day I'll make clothing for dolphins. Psychedelic flowers. I think they'll like them. I'll make psychedelic dolphin clothing. I'll make that my new thing. No. I'm loving these warm days, Dan. I hope your legs feel better and you still enjoy your walk. Love is true. Sam, how does the mental chatter overlap with the concept of critical mass / group behavior? I think it does, right? For instance, would we have as much mental chatter if we weren't a society, right? Like what would the level of mental chatter be if we only grew up in like small 50, 100 people tribes versus now having access to the internet? I don't know if it would be that big of a discrepancy, to be completely honest. I think there would be, but I think it would be less than we think, kind of vibe. Let me get this set up. Still out of frame? Yeah, I can get it closer. Closer still. Just like that, we got some writering. Melty's Google search history is hilarious. Bruh. Yeah, I think it probably is. I've never been, SWAT teamed at least. And I'm no longer Googling how to make bombs. Melt, I didn't mean doing it again for double-digit years, just in general. I get you. Again, those double-digit years of sobriety probably like taught you, what it is you value. And, learning from that perspective, actually. To the answer, gonna have to go back to cave paintings. Then do you have Epsom salt? A nice hot bath of Epsom salt is so nice for sore legs. I want to take a bath as well. Maybe I'll do that after stream today. It might be nice actually. Good idea, Rabbit. You should get out more. Me? I should get out more? My ego is flaring up. It's being like, I'll have you know. I've been out, Mariah. Don't you worry. I've been out plenty. Thank you very much. It's going to be a very warm day here for the next 4 days. It's going to be very warm here for the next 4 days. Practicing acceptance. Love to you, Nancy. It's pretty warm here as well. 100. Like while I was dancing today, it was 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Indian summer across Europe at the moment. Love again to you. Psychedelic fractal flower dolphin clothing. Yes, the ocean needs fractal flowers too. Exactly. Right? Yes, 100%. Be like, I would like 100% talk to dolphins if I could. In fact, I think I probably will. That's probably going to be something that happens. I'll do a live stream, with dolphins. Figure out some sort of, brain-computer interface with them as well. Wish you could take a bath. I just have a shower stall in my apartment. I miss baths though. Yeah, it does take a lot of room, kind of vibe. Maybe you can find someone. Maybe you can like go to a local swimming pool or something. Find yourself a big body of water. It's not exactly a bath, but it could help. I don't need to quit smoking weed to know what I value. Again, is that thing of like distance makes the heart grow fond, Joy Vive. You don't have to believe me, but I believe me, right? I have noticed emphatically. Hey, Google, define emphatically. Emphatically. In a forceful way. Yes, emphatically. I have noticed, because I do force myself to not smoke, that when I do that for myself, I appreciate smoking weed exponentially more when I do start smoking again afterwards, right? Like a level of appreciation that I only had when I first smoked in my life. right? It's like that level of tolerance reset where you're like, this is so nice. I really enjoy this. This is so meaningful and significant, instead of it just being another thing you do, right? Oh, I guess I'm smoking a joint, right? Oh, I mean, I don't know if I'm high right now. Maybe I should smoke my joint again. If you haven't smoked for a month and you smoke your joint, you know that you're high right now. Like, there's no if, whats, or whens about it. You're very sure. She's gonna have a rough it out rabbit. Kristen says the botnetter, her bye-bye, but she wanted me to remind you all that you were loved and worthy. Thank you, Sam. We love you, Kristen. I wonder how different our Western societies would be if we still practice communal bathing. Yeah, I wonder about that as well. That was actually where my mind was going. Maybe that's why your mind went there as well. You know, mentioning to Dan, maybe to finding like a public swimming pool or something, Roman style. I think we would have better microbiomes and potential better skin resilience, but it would also be a level of sacrifice, I guess, right? Do we want to make that sacrifice? Bathe communally? I don't want my junk seen by other people, yo. I don't feel like, and I also don't want to bathe with clothing on. So I prefer the current style. I like showering more than I like taking baths anyway. Right? Most of my hygiene happens with like showers. I've probably only bathed less than 100 times in my whole life. Right? Where it's like thousands, tens of thousands even. Is it tens of thousands? No, not yet. Of showers. All right, card time. Let me shuffle a little bit. And then we'll see what sacred geometry has to say today. Maybe we'll get some extra wisdom on this fractal of sacrifice we talked about today. Do doop doo. Do doop 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 doo doo. Da 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 da. Do 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 do. Card time. Yes, card time. Okay. Let's see. I want a card that is going to absolutely knock my socks off. Something so significant that I won't help but feel love is true. Let's see. This one. Is your family still gone? Yes, they are. My family is very gone. We pulled the cube. The cube. The hexahedron. Hexahedron? Did you know that a cube was called a hexahedron? The more you know. Hexahedron. We don't pull this card a lot. Like, we don't pull this card a lot at all. Like, maybe like once or twice ever. I've been waiting for 55 for so long. Want to see the Octamotion card again? No rock. No rock for us right now, Jovan. We got the cube though. I believe this card means earth. The sacrifice we had to make. Right? That you had to literally embody yourself to be on this earth right now. That's a big sacrifice. Like, seriously, I'm not trying to be like coy or joking about this. Going from consciousness, right, God essence, to becoming embodied in this world, that's just painful. And I believe all of you friends are very powerful for being willing to do so. The cube, the hexahedron, card number 21. substance, order, and stability as the core meanings. I did pull it upside down, so I'll read that one first and then I'll read the right side up one. You are seeking order in a situation that seems beyond your control. Consciously step out of the box in order to gain a larger perspective. You may be required to act in a manner that is not customary for you, so that you can break free of the confinement that you are experiencing. How about that, Dan? Like, we did kind of talk about that fractal today. Very vague, but I still feel perfectly said. The hexahedron, or cube, with its 6 equal square faces, is one of the 5 three-dimensional shapes commonly called the Platonic solids. The cube is associated with the masculine side of our nature and the element of earth. It is a symbol of matter, security, solidity, fairness, order, and stability. Choosing this card finds you seeking affirmation that the venture you are embarking upon or the project you are designing is in your best interest. Do you feel secure that your plans are in good order? Does the essence of your project have substance and stability? Do you feel there is fairness in the situation? If so, this card affirms your attention to move forward and indicates stability and good fortune. Occasionally, it takes stepping out of the box in order to see the situation more clearly. Take a break. Go for a swim. Walk in the park. Or head for the gym. Set aside your objectives long enough to gain a fresh perspective. Now, look again at the substance of your inquiry with a refreshed attitude and realize the order in your manifestation. Ashley, how nice seeing you, friend. Thank you for joining us. It's been a while since seeing your name. Hope you've been doing well. Ground Sparkle. It's interesting that Ashley and Ground Sparkle usually joins us together. Are you two friends, like in the real world? Great card pull. Thank you, Lisa, for listening, friend. How big is the box we have to step out of? That's a good question to ask, Ground Sparkle. But unfortunately, /fortunately, you are the only one that can answer that question, right? How big is the box you have been locking yourself in? I can ask in retort to your question. Your voice is very enchanting, and I can't get enough of it. Well, Grand Sparkle, you're in luck. I do these streams every day. So you get to listen to my words all the time. Thank you for flattering me. I really do appreciate that. I'm happy that you like my voice. Something I had a massive amount of insecurity about when I was a teenager, right? Imagine me as a teenager Googling how to make your voice deeper. So fucking stupid. The sacrifice I had to make, right? I guess. Great card pull. Vanilla essence of a project. Your voice, love again to you, Grand Sparkle. Thank you. Okay, we have our kalimba out. We have our second microphone set up. We're in the Discord together, so this is shared there. Love is true. Me and Ashley are lovers. We make passionate love under the baobab tree. What a blessing that is. I'm happy to hear that, Grand Sparkle. Love is true after all. It is 44 minutes past right now. My battery percentage on this is at 75. It's 17 friends with 4 updudes and a 777. So it's like 17, 4, 77, 17, 44, 75. So it's getting close. And then I'm going to do 33 minutes and 47 seconds again. So 34, 47. Let's go, shall we? And just like that, 3 minutes and 47 seconds melts into gentle kalimba plings and plangs. Ashley and Grand Sparkle coming into the space of a bang. I see what you did there. Can you not, doggers? Just losing their minds over nothing. Oh, there's a cow inside. That's what's happening outside. You see that? Yeah, lose our minds. Lose our minds. I'm gonna have to go and do something about that. My sacrifice. Oh, yeah. Lament, lament. Complain, complain. I'm not actually that worried about it. I'm just gonna have to go and get the gate key or something. I think the XX used this instrument. I don't know the XX, but it is a nice one, right? Very forgiving, very sweet and soft and calm, super gentle. I dedicate your song, if I may, to Ashley and her ability to remove grass stains from all manner of clothing. Got 99 problems, but a stain ain't one. Yo, this sing sounds lovely, Mel. Love is true. Thank you for the Josh Mo. Something just dropped on my back, yo. Thank you, Mel. Love to you. There is our Shan message. What's their beef? They just don't like the cows, yo. They really don't like the cows. I don't know why. I think it's the size thing, right? Like to them, there's these monsters. 50 times the size of them or something. You're so calm. I would sure be freaking out that damn girl's gonna stampede me. Like I've told you this many times, right? I'm okay dying, right? Like I feel there's more for me to lose in freaking out than there is for me in dying, right? I feel like that's hard for people to understand. I had this conversation with John as well. Rustig. Rustig, dankie. Right? Like, I'm not scared of death. Death is not something that, like, I've gone there kind of vibe, right? I've seen the other side, and it's not something to fear. Dying isn't dangerous. Getting stampeded by a cow, that's dangerous. That is dangerous, technically. The dying part isn't, right? But I feel, to my own quality of life, my own peace of mind, freaking out is more dangerous than dying, right? So I just don't. I'm like, no. Can't be bothered to lose my shit. I don't want to feel like that, so I just won't. Talk to you guys tomorrow. Love you, Dan. That's an amazing rest of your day. How many fractal naps does a cow need to settle his 4 stomachs? I don't even know. Probably a lot. I don't think they nap that much, technically. They do sleep at night, but they don't really nap that much during the day. At least not from what I've noticed. They will like lay down kind of vibe, but they don't actually, close their eyes and sleep. They are like on alert. See you all tomorrow. Gratitude, abundance, love, and light to use. Love to you, dear Zhao, and dear Lozana, and Lisa, and Brother Dan. Let's see our Shan message, shall we? She says to every single one of us, have the mostest, beautifulest day, everyone. I, for really, really love you all so, very, very super de duper, jumbo extremely, extensively, whoppingly, hulkingly, humongously, dearly, beloved, powerfully passionate, melt more. And all of you, oh so, very impressively, wonderfully, magnificently, marvelously, stupendously, splendidly, uniquely, exuberantly, gorgeously, brightly, luminously, magically, magical, precious divine friends that sacrifice their time and effort for the truth of love. That's so beautiful. As we love you, dear Shan. Thank you. Yeah, that's what I thought. Wi-Fi. Think you can just disconnect, freeze me up. No, I was saying love to Shan. Thank you for sending your Shan message. Do cows sleep? Do cows fall asleep next to each other like couples? No, not really. Usually there's like one bull that's like good genetics, and he's like the working bull, we call them. So they don't do couples. There's no monogamy. It's more like polyamory for the cows, technically. Would be nice to be someone's calming influence. I mean, if not, why not, Crown Sparkle? Find someone in your life today and remind them that things are okay, right? Remind them that they'll be. Have you seen Temple Grandin melt? You should watch it. No, I haven't. Hey Google, Temple Grandin. Oh, Temple Grandin is an American academic and animal behavioralist. Because of the whole cow fractal? Is that why you're recommending I watch her content? She looks very wise. She looks like such an interesting fractal. What a trip. It's like a cow concubine. Yeah. Pretty much. Pretty much. Love is true, right? Thank you for joining me, dear friends. Wise like an owl. Wise like a... Wise like a praying mantis, weirdly enough, is where my mind's going. Who wish me luck that Amara likes and actually eats the spaghetti squash I'm making for her dinner. Good luck to you, dear Shan. Thank you. Even if she doesn't appreciate your spaghetti squash, thank you for being willing to be such a good mom. Exert all of that effort to take care of your little one. Love is true. HBO made a movie about her. You should watch it. I'll see. I'll see. Look at me seeing whether or not I'll watch it. I told you I don't want spaghetti again. You don't tell her that it's squash. Yeah, just be like it's spaghetti. 47% on my battery. There we go. Perfect. Stream done. I love you, friends, so much. You'll need it. Teens are tricky eaters, Shed. If she doesn't, more for me, I suppose. Love is true. I thank you, friends, for joining me. Sharing some effort, some time, some sacrificing of your life, energy, right? Literally. I hope it was worthy. I do try to give back as much as I possibly can. Again, I thank you, friends, for trusting me to honor your time in this way today. Until tomorrow, okay? Love you. Until we do this again. Goodbye, everybody. Cheers, cheers.